meeting of BKC Fireflies. This is the 140th meeting, and we're going to have lots of fun with the raid with our Toastmaster of the day. Before we get into the meeting and before I hand you all over to our presiding officer, there are certain do's and don'ts that we have to follow during this meeting. Number one, kindly switch off your audio if you're not speaking. Whenever a speaker is speaking, make sure your video is on and the audio is off so that you don't disturb the speaker. In case there are any issues, do mention that in the chat. The meeting will be recorded. So in case there are any reservations, do let us know. I request you all to kindly refrain from talking about sex, politics, and religion as it might affect some people or better. So before I go ahead, let me read the mission of the club. Mission of a club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That's it from me as the star of the meeting. Now let me transfer you all, or maybe hand over you all to our presiding officer, who will take you through the meeting ahead. Over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. And yes, welcome to meeting number 140 of BKC Fireflies, the small wonder of Mumbai, as you can see over my shoulder. This is the president of the club, who's also doing the role of the presiding officer of the meeting. A few quick things to mention. If you have a role in the meeting, for example, if you're speaking or if you're the timer or any of those things, please go ahead and update your name to include your role in front of your name. For example, I have PO/timer. PO stands for presiding officer, timer is timer. So I'll be doing this role. So I have my role name in front of my actual name. So please go ahead and do that for your name as well. It'll make it easier for people like me to find you, to spotlight and highlight and all those fun things. We recently concluded eloquence and a district council election for District 98, which is the district we are part of at BKC Fireflies. District 98 covers states like MP, Gujarat, Mumbai, some parts of Mumbai, and I think Goa also is part of District 98. We had a great time. From all reports that I've been hearing online and in person from Sangeeta Shruti, who was in the meeting a little while ago. The conference was concluded successfully. We have champions, and all the champions, strangely enough and interestingly enough, are from Mulund Toastmasters. The champion for ISC, the champion for evaluation speech contest, and there are a few others that they won. Can somebody help me with the third one that they won? Kahani is from Mulund Toastmasters. So we have one person who is actually at the conference, and I'm hoping that that person can turn on their video. Let me request them anyway. And while they're getting the stars aligned for them to turn on the video, we'll continue with our conversation for the meeting. Now, I've made a recent decision to embrace my writing and public speaking a little bit more. And I've been stepping out of my comfort zone to go out and speak at events which are not Toastmasters events. I go to open mics, I try and position myself to speak at corporate events, all those good things. And I've been noticing a few things that make so much obvious difference when you do them correctly. And one of those things is what Toastmasters teaches us really well, like how to manage your stage. For example, if you're the person on stage delivering a speech, what do you do when your speech terminates? Do you just drop your mic and run off stage? Because a lot of people do that. They do drop their mic and say, okay, my time is up, I'm done. You guys can do whatever you want with the stage once I'm off it. Though in Toastmasters, the protocol is to wait for the next person to come in and take charge of the meeting before you step off stage. So the small things that we take for granted at Toastmasters stands out as being very, very important to the smooth flow of a meeting when you see it not being done correctly. So my pitch to you, my statement to you is that you might not even realize how much Toastmasters is helping you until you go out there and see how the rest of the world handles itself when it comes to public speaking engagements and being in front of an audience and managing an audience and in conducting meetings. For example, many meetings tend to start late outside Toastmasters. You end up having 20 minutes, 30 minutes, up to 45 minutes delays have happened. Some of it is because the main people have not shown up. And then there's just dead air when that time is being spent while you're waiting for some people to arrive. Toastmasters would never do that. You start the meeting, hit a recess, take a 20-minute recess if you have to, and then come back and continue the meeting once everybody who needs to be there is there. Or you start the meeting, make sure that the meeting starts. you engage with the audience, you talk to them, do something so that nobody feels that they are wasting their time sitting there waiting for some dignitary to arrive. And these are things that you will not realize as Toastmasters until you go out and see them not happening. And my suggestion to you is, please find such events, go and attend them. If it's online, do it online. If it's not online, if you can do it in person at a venue close to your place of work or home, please go ahead and do that, because it'll show you a lot about how you have grown as a Toastmaster, because these things start irking you. Things like, why are people not starting on time? Why are people using ums and ahs and do's and don'ts, and the grammar is all over the place? They mix multiple languages without translating it for the benefit of the people who don't speak the second language. Those small things which we do really well at Toastmasters are not being done correctly outside Toastmasters. And it is our job to go out and show the best way of doing these things. So that's my recommendation. Please find it in your time, in your schedule, to at least do one event, one interaction with the outside world a month. If it's at your alumni is doing something or somebody's wedding, or just go ahead and do it. It's great fun to see what others do wrong and what we do at Toastmasters correctly. That's my 2-minute spiel on Toastmasters.
I'm in the meeting. Can I?
Let me quickly mute Bhuvi, because it looks like her audio is on. She's only muted herself. But I don't think we have any guests as such, so we don't need to put somebody on the spot and ask them why they're here. So we'll maybe ask Aditya one more time. Aditya, is your video on? Can you turn on your video and tell us a bit about eloquence? Going once, going twice, and going thrice. No, he's not in a position to help us with his experiences with eloquence. Let me, now that all this stuff is done, let me quickly introduce the. Oh, I think she's still on the phone. So let me kill him some more time. This is exactly what Toastmasters teaches you. I can see that Bhuvi is on the phone. She's busy, so I'll have to kill more time and make sure that I bring her on stage when she's good and ready. We also had the District 98 elections. Oh, I just didn't realize this. Sandhya tells me that Vaishali is a guest. Vaishali, can you turn on your video? So while Vaishali is turning on a video, let me tell you a bit about the elections. So we had a new slate of officers has been elected to lead District 98 in the year 2024-2025. The new incoming district director is DTM Ankit Das Gupta, who has been a part of District 98 for a very long time. I think since the beginning, he's been part of it. And he has been given the charge of District 98 for the coming year. It was always exciting to see people who've done this for a long time come back and take over some leadership positions, because they have experience, they've seen how things are done. And it's always, I'm excited to see what he brings to the table, because District 98 in the previous year has been very good. I mean, people have loved some of the initiatives that the current district director has taken. And let's see how the incoming district director does his role as well. Kalpana, were you at Eloquence?
Yes, I was.
So do you have, do you want to share a couple of interesting things that you saw, or some people you met that you would not have expected to meet?
Yes, I think I predominantly being on a virtual stage, every person I met was someone who I was meeting for the first time.
Oh.
And I did have a tough time. I had a tough time because I recollected the face, but it was like a word puzzle where I had to add a name to the face. And there were a few of them who were a bit disappointed. There were a few who even scolded me for not recognizing them.
Oh, no.
And a few who were saying, okay, there's a flaw with Toastmaster Kalpana too. She can't recognize people. She virtually beats them.
Nice.
Apart from that, let me tell you what was the best highlight. They had a crossword there with every participant's name written on it. You had to go to that board and find out your name on it. So it was like, among 200, 150 to 200 participants, finding your name was a challenge. That was one board that I really liked. I liked the way they had arranged, of course, now this is all fun and entertainment, rotating camera sort of with a light. So you stand in the middle and it just rotates and takes you. I think almost all of us had fun there. Apart from that, what was it that stood out for me was the Kahani contest, the ISC, the evaluation contests. I like the spirit. I like the camaraderie. I liked the way people bonded, because the only thing that bonded them was the Toastmasters.
Right.
And I think it was a wonderful experience. Not
Is
just,
this your first time attending a conference like this?
yes, yes.
And what is your home district? Are you part of District 98 also? Or is your home you're from Delhi? So what's the home district for Delhi?
Yeah, I am the home district from for Delhi. I don't know, but because the club started in Mumbai itself, it was District 98. So I don't know anything about Delhi Toastmasters
Okay.
at all. Sadly or happily, I don't know how I should put that. So that is why I flew all the way from here to Mumbai first. I was there for a day, and then I boarded the train to Silvassa.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah.
quite a journey.
It
Nice.
was really nice. It was really nice. I think we all enjoyed bonding with each other. That's what my takeaway is: bonding, talking to each other, and actually seeing the veterans in action.
Nice, nice. Well, were there any surprises as far as you're concerned? Like, is there some performer who, I don't want to challenge the final results or anything like that. I'm just curious, was there somebody you were like, oh wow, this person is so good, and I hope they win, and they might not have won?
Yes, there definitely were contestants which, according to me, because we were a group and we had this notepads and pen, we were also noting down as if we are judges. And when the results were announced, I think most of us were like, okay, like, maybe our judging is wrong, is what was our conclusion. But yes, there were some outstanding speakers among the new speakers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I felt, I was touched to see them speak. I was quite fascinated by the way they had written their speeches and the points that they tried to drive home. Not only were they different, but they were noteworthy and thought-provoking.
All right, so that is a great summary of the event. I'm glad you were able to make it. Glad you enjoyed it. So I'm going to drop you from the spotlight for 2 seconds and ask if Vaishali, are you in a position to talk to us?
Sorry, I had technical glitches, so I just
worries.
couldn't get connected.
No problem.
I'm actually, first of all, I would like to say I'm feeling very happy to join this discussion panel again, the meeting. It gives me a lot of positive aura. What I felt last time when I took the role as a timer, which made me learn so many things. So I thought, let me not miss a chance of being a part of this meeting again, once again.
Oh, wow.
So this time I'm as a guest, and I really want to learn more and more from all of you all.
Right. Table topic master, please note there is a guest who's a Toastmaster. So you have
there is a guest who was my roommate at Eloquent. Hi, Vaishali.
Hi, Kalpana. How are you
It's
doing?
a small world, and I think it ends at BKC Fireflies.
All right.
We are in the same world.
I think Sandhya's staring daggers at me because the agenda is waiting for my attention. So I'm going to quickly highlight the person who's going to replace me on stage and take us forward, because she is going to talk about something that all of us are thinking about a lot, especially with the news coming out yesterday that Delhi had a temperature of 50 plus, though it might be a little faulty, but I'm pretty sure it must be close to somewhere mid 40s, late 40s, even if it's not 50 plus. So this is something that we're all concerned about. And the person who's going to talk to us about it is a brand professional from ICICI Bank. She knows how to present stories in a way that connects with us. So Bhuvi, please tell us your take on the theme of the day, Monsoon. Bhuvi, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sai. Give me 1 minute, please. Just making some adjustments.
No worries. I mean, I can talk over your shoulder while give me a thumbs up when you're ready. So Kalpana, 52 degrees, were you part of it? Did you experience it?
Yes. Actually, it is bad. It's really bad. I just don't know how to put it. I never experienced these high temperatures, actually,
Wow. So people from Bombay, what's the worst?
Yeah. I felt we should not be having money plants in the pots. We should actually be having those people trees and banyan trees, outside.
Right. What about the people from Bombay? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So I think Bhuvi is ready to take charge. Bhuvi, over to you. Tell us a bit about monsoons.
Hello, and thank you for that intro, Sai. That is something that is in equal measures frightening. And, a temperature that crossed 50 degrees in India. The day before, actually, the temperature crossed 50 degrees in Pakistan as well. So the subcontinent is really feeling the brunt of climate change. And I don't know where will things go from here. Having said that, a very, very good evening and to all Toastmasters and guests who are attending meeting number 140 of BKC Fireflies Toastmasters Club. And as we mentioned, if you've been in Mumbai or Delhi in the last month, the first conversation topic whenever you meet anyone is on how hot and humid it is. Hot and only dry hot in Delhi. And in Mumbai, it is so humid. Despite the fact that the temperature is not crossing 35 degrees, it feels like a lot more. A particular feeling that I have, and I think I speak for almost everybody in the room, you step out of the house in the morning from cooler, air-conditioned environs, and the minute you step out, it is so hot. You just basically have beads of sweat form in almost 30 seconds on your upper lip, and beads of sweat trickle down your back very seamlessly, making you just aware that how hot, how unbearably hot it is. And the only thing that, one can think of is, when will you be back to somewhere a little bit more bearable? It is absolutely exhausting, right? And we are all basically hoping and praying as to when will the heat abate and when will monsoons hit. And I have good news. I, in fact, even preluded that on the BKC Fireflies group for all of you, who saw that in short, that the monsoon has indeed hit the Kerala coast today. And for those of you who don't know, it takes almost 10 days after the monsoon hits the coast of Kerala for it to reach Maharashtra. So it's, at least for those of us who are in Mumbai, Maharashtra, Karnataka, there is joy coming, and we don't have that much longer to wait before we have some peace, right? So I personally love the rains, but as I was also asking around to the group and the speakers and all the fireflies, people have a love-hate relationship with the rains. So if I may ask, with a show of hands, how many of you love the rains? Nice. I see quite a few hands up, and the remaining, I see. So basically, the majority clearly loves the rains. So it's the minority, which is people who don't like the rains and hate the rains. Very interestingly, I was having a conversation with Rashmi, who is our leader of PR, and she very interestingly said that in earlier days, I used to associate and love rains for chai, pakode, chutti, and petri chore. But now, the only thing that I associate monsoons with is traffic jams. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the difference between Delhi and Bombay. Very interesting word, petri chore. Petri chore is a very beautiful word which I got acquainted with a couple of days earlier. And it basically means that smell of water on dry earth. And I think it is one of those smells which are universal. It somehow, very much like things like the sound of waves, it just has an impact on the senses and brings immediate peace. And I, for one, cannot wait to smell the petri chore. So now that we have basically spoken about monsoon, I will like to introduce you to the tag team for the meeting who will help manage the meeting. The timer, Toastmaster Sai, who is the president of BKC Fireflies. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai, if you can help us, if you can take us through your roles and responsibilities as the timer.
Gladly. My job as the timer is to keep track of the overall evolution of the meeting as per the agenda. Also, as speakers are speaking, I'll be giving them visual clues indicating when their time is up for their speaking slot by changing my background. So what you can see right now is a white background. As the speaker hits the minimum qualifying time of their speech, that background will change to green. Let me show you what it looks like. And what I'll be doing is I'll be hiding my face, so you don't need to see my face anymore. But while that is happening, I'm going to change my background so that the speaker can see green when they've hit the minimum qualifying time. When they've hit the middle point of the qualifying time, a lot of time it'll be yellow, and finally it'll be red, and it'll stay red until the speaker finishes their speech without any indication whether they've exceeded their time or not. Each speaker will be given a certain amount of grace time prior or after their minimum allotted time or the maximum allotted time. So for a speech which lasts 4 to 6 minutes, it'll be 3.5 minutes to 6.5 minutes. For speeches which last 1 to 2 minutes, it'll be at least a minimum of the 1 minute for table topics. There's no grace on the lower side for table topics. For table topics on the other side, it's 2.5 minutes. So you'll have a little bit of grace, but you'll not be given any visual indication of the grace period or the grace time. That will be my job, to keep track of time and indicate to both the Toastmaster of the day how we're doing on the agenda, and to the speakers how we're doing on their speech delivery, on how much time they're taking for their speech delivery. And I'm invite all speakers invited to either pin me or keep an eye on my small little square on the top strip of your Zoom app. If you're on a laptop, if you're on a phone, switch to the screen which has my face. I'll be hiding my face and you can see the time. That'll be my job. Bhuvi, back to you.
So thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sai. I think what was really helpful and what must be of note to all the speakers is to pin Toastmaster Sai when they start speaking, so that they can easily see the timings through his background. It is green, yellow, and red, just to reiterate. So thank you, Toastmaster Sai. Now I'm going to introduce to you the R counter. The R counter is Toastmaster Pragnya, and she will now, I'll hand over the dais to her to take us through her roles and responsibilities.
So good evening, everyone. So my job as a hour counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, to, so, but, and, you know. I will also listen for filler words, including and, are. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I or I will, this means, or that means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pragnya. Now I'm going to introduce the grammarian who forms the third part of the tag team. The grammarian for the evening is Toastmaster Niyamat, who has played many roles in Toastmasters clubs over the years. So over to you, Toastmaster Niyamat, to take us through your roles and responsibilities.
I want to say that Niyamat is, I think, tied up somewhere else, because I asked her to turn on a video, but her video is not on. So we could maybe just ask her to.
Needs a minute. I think she just put in a message in a box that she needs a minute.
You can use that time to tell us more about the monsoon.
Okay, fine. All right. Oh, okay. Basically, so the what I'm waiting for is So the grammarian usually gives us a word of the day and or the idiom of the day. Looking forward to that, so that the speakers during the meeting can freely use both the word as well as the idiom of the day. I'll go into my next.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Your voice is a little broken, Niyamat. In case you can maybe go to a place which has less ambient sound, if that's possible. Okay, all right. So, Niyamat, if it's possible for you to just share the word of the day or the phrase of the day, would it be possible for you to share that? Okay, I don't think she is available. Okay. Would anybody like to volunteer a word of the day?
Can you give me a second? 1 second.
I guess it is exhilarating.
Can you give me 1 second, please? I'm just settling down for this.
I don't know who's
Alright.
speaking.
I don't know.
I think Saurabh.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm here now if I'm available, if I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Please.
I love how this happens. BKC will kick me out at one point. I'm always traveling.
No worries. No
So-
worries. We're happy to have you.
So, dearest fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Rains has always been a soft topic for me, pun intended. As a grammarian, one line is simple. Grammar is like rain. You can go hide under the cabin, you can go find shelter, you can run away home, but you cannot avoid it. It's right there in your face. So it's not something that you can take advantage of because it will always, or I would say 95% of the time, outsmart you. Hello?
Yes, you're audible. Please continue.
Your screen has frozen, so. All right. So as a grammarian, my job is to make note of all the wonderful usages of the English grammar, English language. At the same time, also keep a note of all the places where we can improve, where we have probably made a mistake here and there, either used a word that should not have been used or used it incorrectly. And I'll also propose the word of the day. The word of the day is occlude. Occlude means to close up or block off something. Occlude basically is used in medical terminologies where a clot, a blood clot usually occludes an artery. It can also be used in the case of a traffic jam where there is an obstruction on the road. So obstruction would also mean an occlusion or occlude. So I invite all of you all to use the word of the day, occlude. Also, where else do we find in life where occlude comes from? So it comes from this, the etymology of the word, it comes from occludere, right? And that itself means something which does not allow something else to pass through, something that covers something, something that conceals. And anyone can make use of the word occlude?
Don't let the clouds occlude your optimism.
Wow.
Oh,
Let not the
Well
technical
done.
glitches occlude our meeting.
Ah, I like that. I love how optimistic we are. I really feel bad when I can't make it on time because I get annoyed when somebody has technical glitches. And right now I did the same thing. So thank you for being a very patient audience. Back to you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Niyamat, for that beautiful, unusual word, occlude, to close, which means to close off or block something. I encourage all our speakers to use the word of the day, occlude. Now back to the monsoons. So monsoons in India are very interesting. Basically because as a developing country, India is very much dependent on its monsoon for irrigation and for its agricultural needs. So monsoon season is what provides moisture for the crops, and it is also very carefully timed, right? All the crops that grow in every region are timed according to the hitting of the monsoon, and they're planted at the time so that the irrigation comes at the right time and food can get produced at the right time. Which is why in the last decade, because the seasonal cycles have been so disturbed, we constantly hear about crops, not being able to deliver their actual output because of the monsoons having been delayed, the monsoons having not been their usual capacity and delivering the amount of rain that is needed for providing the irrigation and the water to the crops. Among other needs, while one of course need is providing irrigation to crops across India, India also depends on the monsoons to provide electricity, to provide hydroelectric electricity, right? The rainfall that is received gets stored in dams, which are then used year round for provision of electricity, which is why, monsoons are so crucial to India. And they, in fact, are so crucial that the former president of India, President Pranab Mukherjee, called the monsoons the true finance minister of India. Now, what is actually happening is that because of climate change, the temperatures are rising. And what happens is that monsoons either become too heavy, which causes flooding. And ironically, in areas where monsoons are not heavy enough, we have drought-like situations. So this is something that most of us would have seen in our lifetimes. I am from Delhi, and during my childhood, I used to see a very different Delhi with very heavy rainfall. But now, if you go to the north, monsoons as a season seem like an anomaly, honestly, because gradually over the decades, they have just become lighter and lighter. And it is only when I moved to Mumbai in 2017 and I really experienced the rains in all their glory that I realized what the monsoon season really means and why it is so celebrated across the country. As I leave all of you to ponder on this, I will basically take you through the structure of the meeting. Every Toastmasters meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speeches part, where members give speeches on pre-chosen topics according to the level and pathway in Toastmasters curriculum. The second part is the impromptu speaking round, where members and speakers speak on topics as communicated by the table topics master. And the third round is the evaluations. The evaluations are led by the general evaluator, and it also has a section on individual speech evaluations where the prepared speeches are evaluated by specific chosen speech evaluators. So without much ado, since we're also running 10 minutes late, we will jump into the prepared speech section. I would like to just ask Toastmaster Saurabh whether he is available for his speech.
I'm ready. Yeah.
You're ready. Okay, fine. All right. So the first prepared speaker for the meeting is Toastmaster Saurabh Patil, who will be presenting his L1P3 speech. The speech title for his speech is The Voice of Transformation, A Journey in Coaching. I will now call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Nidhi, to take us through his speech goals. Over to you, Toastmaster Nidhi.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Saurabh is performing the level 1 and the project 3. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice using the vocal variety or the body language to enhance his speech. Make sure that the speech might be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. On the basis of the evaluation, I will evaluate it on the basis of the body language and the vocal variety. If Saurav has indicated only way to evaluate it on vocal variety, then please use, I will use this as a speech profile available on the Basecamp. Okay, over to you. Timer, please note, the duration would be 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Nidhi. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh. Toastmaster Saurabh, the voice of transformation, a journey in coaching. The voice of transformation, a journey in coaching, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Okay, I cannot see the white screen with the timer.
You may want to pin Toastmaster Sai.
No, I mean I can see Sai, but I can see Sai. I cannot see the screen. So Sai will be displaying the screen in his background, is it?
That's
Yes,
correct.
I'll be displaying the screen in the background.
Okay, no problem. Then I'm ready. Okay, great. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, good evening to all. I want to share a story with you. Instead of delivering a normal speech, let me share a story with you. It's about coaching, but a tale that is filled with magic or vocal variety and some expressive power of body language. So let me get on with it. So once upon a time in a small town, nestled among the rolling hills, now that we are talking about rains, let's imagine some lush green hills with lush green forest around it. There lived a man named Daniel. Now, Daniel was known for his incredible speaking skills and his ability to connect with people. He was also a coach who used to coach people to speak. One day, a young woman named Emma approached him. Emma had a dream to become a public speaker who could move the audience in from her words. I think in Toastmasters, we all do have that, correct? But she was shy, like many of us who joined Toastmasters. Her voice often trembled when she spoke. Daniel, she said, her voice barely above a whisper, I want to learn how to speak like you. Will you coach me? Daniel smiled warmly and said, Of course, Emma. I'd be delighted to coach you. Let's begin this journey together. Their coaching sessions started in a cozy, sunlit room filled with lots of books and amazing inspirational ambience. Daniel knew that the first step to make Emma speak was to be making her comfortable. He spoke to her in a gentle voice, not intimidating her, reassuring her that this is going to be a smooth journey. He spoke to her and said, Emma, the key to great speaking with confidence is to speak in a specific tone. Let's start with something simple. Tell me your favorite book. And Emma hesitated when she began. My favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I love the character of Atticus Finch. Daniel noticed with his eyes encouraging. That's wonderful, Emma. Now let's try something funny. Imagine you're reading this book to some small kids as a bedtime story. How would you change your voice to keep them engaged? Emma's eyes sparkled with curiosity. She took a deep breath and began again with her voice becoming more animated. Once upon a time, in a small town in Alabama, there lived a man named Atticus Finch. Her voice became more lively as she continued, and Daniel could see the confidence coming out from her. She then introduced her to the power of body language. Emma, when you speak about something exciting, use your hands to emphasize the words. When you talk about a big idea, spread your arms wide and show the audience the passion you feel. Emma practiced her movements, becoming more and more fluid and expressive. She spoke about Atticus Finch, his bravery, her arms outstretched, and her voice rising
and falling with emotions. Weeks turned into months, and Emma's transformation was remarkable. One day, Daniel decided it was time to put her in front of a real audience. He arranged Emma to speak in one of his community, and he arranged her to deliver a small speech. On that day, Emma stood backstage, her heart pounding loudly. Daniel placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You got this, Emma. Remember, speak with passion and use your voice to tell your story, and let your body language convey your emotions. As Emma stepped into the stage, she took a deep breath and began. Ladies and gentlemen, today I share a story about courage, about standing up for what is right, and even when it is difficult. Her voice was strong, clear, and filled with conviction. She used pauses, built suspense, her hands moving gracefully to emphasize her points. The audience were captivated, and Daniel felt that there was nothing that could occlude this woman from speaking her art out today. By the end of the speech, the room erupted in applause, and Emma's eyes shone with pride and gratitude. She had done it. She had become the speaker she always wanted to be. Daniel watched from the sidelines, his heart swelling with pride. He knew the magic of vocal variety, the magic of body language had worked impressively and has transformed Emma into an amazing speaker with amazing skills. So, my dear friends, the story of David and Emma tells us that effective coaching is more about it's something more which is than words. It's about using your voice to inspire in a different tone, using your bodies to express yourself, your story, and connect with your heart to the audience. We all are Toastmasters. We all want to be good speakers, amazing speakers. So let's all strive to be the kind of coaches who can make a difference and also be the speaker that we want to be. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. That was a beautiful speech. I truly enjoyed how the story where you retain how coaching can have such a big change in your mentee. I hope I would have some such coaches in my life. I've had a few, but I definitely would want to also have few such coaches and mentors in my life, because it truly can make a difference and a big, large impact. Now we will basically bring on stage the second prepared speaker, who is going to be Toastmaster Kashif, who is attempting his L1 B5. I will call upon their speech evaluator, Toastmaster Sandhya, to present the evaluation guidelines for Toastmaster Kashif. Over to you, Toastmaster Sandhya.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My target speaker, Toastmaster Kashif, today will be presenting his Level 5, Project 5 speech, which is on evaluation and feedback. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a well-organized speech. But with a twist, the member has already delivered a well-organized speech at the last meeting, and he received feedback on it. For this project, he will be incorporating that feedback received and will be presenting either a new speech or the same speech with the feedback incorporated. Timer, please note the time limit for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya. Before we begin, Toastmaster Kashif, can you see the timer screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Toastmaster Kashif, story of our life. Story of our life. Toastmaster Kashif.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to share with you a practice or a routine which, if done well and done consistently, has the power to transform your life. This practice has been used by people or folks from different variety of fields, and it has worked wonderfully for them. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci and scientists such as Charles Darwin and Einstein have used this practice to kind of to generate new ideas for their work. Sportsmen such as Serena Williams, Kobe Bryant, Michael Phelps have used this to improve their performance and to prepare for competition. Entrepreneurs such as Richard Branson have used this to set goals for themselves and to improve their productivity. Even ordinary folks have become extraordinary by using this practice. And Frank is someone we would have never heard of if not for this practice of hers. Of course, I'm talking about journaling. And today I'm going to share with you the how, what, and what, sorry, the how, why, and what of journaling. So let me start with the how of journaling. How do we journal? Now, earlier it may have been a little difficult to journal because we had to procure a pen, we had to have a diary, and then physically write in that diary. And then obviously there was the issue of storing the journals and also the issue of privacy. But today there are multitude of apps which are available, which have made journaling very easy and very convenient for all of us. Using these apps, we can journal, we can write on any device of preference. We can use our laptop, we can use our mobile, we can use our tablets to journal, and the apps will sync the content across various devices. In addition, now with the help of these apps, we can journal and we can write anywhere and anytime. We always have our mobile phones with us. All we have to do is take out our mobiles and start typing. Today, we do not have any excuse not to journal. Personally, I use a note-taking app called Obsidian for journaling. You can use that, or you can use any of the other many apps which are available for journaling. So that was the how of journaling. Now, moving on to the why of journaling. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons, 3 benefits of journaling. The first one is creativity. Journaling improves our creativity. Mark Twain used to journal, and he used to journal about his experiences, his observations, and his ideas, and then used his journal as a source of inspiration for his writing. Other famous writers as well, such as David Henry Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson as well, use journal, and they use their journal to explore their ideas more fully, and that helped them to improve their creativity. Now, how does journaling improve our creativity? So there are 2 reasons, primarily. One is that writing in journal improves our cognitive abilities. And you can test it for yourself. If there is an idea which you have, which is not fully formed in your head, which lacks clarity, you may be able to argue with your friends quite convincingly about that. But when you actually write it down, you will realize at once that the idea lacks something. Only when we write down our thoughts and our ideas, it gives us, or it also tells us to, forces us to think deeply about it, and it brings clarity to the idea, and hence it improves our creativity. The second reason how journaling improves our creativity is that, and I have seen personally as well, provides us a safe space where we can write anything we want, where we can draw anything we want, or we can do anything else in a creative sense without any fear of judgment. So that is the first reason, improvement in creativity. The second why of journaling is that it improves our mental well-being. Many artists have used journaling as a way to reduce or cope with their stress and to improve their mental well-being. There are multiple studies which have found a positive correlation between journaling and our mental well-being. Personally, I have also seen that when I was not journaling, if I had any negative thoughts, any negative ideas, or any negative emotions, I did not deal with them. I brushed them under the carpet because that was easier to do. But when I started journaling, I forced myself to write down those ideas and to journal about especially the negative emotions and the negative thoughts I had. And when I wrote them down, I was forced to confront those emotions and to deal with them. And it is only when we deal with our negative feelings can we ever hope to resolve them. So in that sense, the journal is also works like a personal therapist. And just like any good therapist, it has helped me tremendously to improve my mental well-being. Finally, the third why of journaling is that it improves our memory function. There are no points for guessing then when we start journaling and when we start writing down about our everyday experiences, our everyday ideas, our everyday observations, we can recall the major events of our life more vividly, more clearly. And what I have also seen is that not only me, but you will also notice that when you start journaling, what is really cool is that you can pick up any date from the past and you will know exactly what you were doing on that day. Not only that, but you will also know how you were feeling on that day. What are the things that were worrying you? So those are the three whys of journaling. Now let me come to the what of journaling. Just to recap, I've already talked about what to journal about. We can journal about our daily experiences. We can journal about our daily observations. We can journal especially about our negative emotions. We can journal about our goals and hold ourselves accountable to those goals in our journals. Finally, when we start journaling, we also start writing down the story of our life. And stories are powerful. Stories are one of the most powerful tools which is available to us as human beings. And when we see our story on paper, it also forces us into action to make that story better so that we are able to tell a good story. So I would urge all of you to take up journaling and start taking control of your lives. And over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kashif, for such a beautiful speech on journaling. I myself have journaled intermittently as a child, and even as an adult, I somehow always end up leaving journaling. But I've made a note of the app that you mentioned, Obsidian, and here's to making another attempt to starting journaling and gaining from all the whys of journaling and writing the story of my life. Now we will go over to the third prepared speech for the day, which will be delivered by Toastmaster Mahesh. Toastmaster Mahesh is attempting his L2P2 speech titled From Nothing to Something. I will now hand over the dais to Toastmaster Kalpana, who will be his speech evaluator and will take us through his speech goals. Over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Bhuvi. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Mahesh, is, as mentioned by Toastmaster of the Day, is attempting level 2, project 2. This is about mentoring. Purpose of this particular speech is going to be for him to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and at the same time for him to have an aspect of previous experience as a protege. Timer, kindly note the speech timings are 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Bhuvi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Toastmaster Mahesh, are you able to see the timer screen?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you. Toastmaster Mahesh, from nothing to something. From nothing to something, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhuvi. When going gets tough, tough gets going. It's rightly said. When you are not able to see where you are going, you can ask a person who is already there. This we are referring to mentors in our life. So this is not possible if we don't have mentors in our life. So welcome to the world of mentorship, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good evening to all of you. You'll be surprised to know that Bill Gates was mentored by Warren Buffett. So this is also quite a new thing for me, that even such successful people need mentorship in their lives. So people sometimes mix coaching with mentoring. So can anybody tell the difference between coaching and mentoring? Anyone? The best answer will get the lifetime membership fee free for BKC Fireflies. Please. Difference between coaching and mentoring. Anyone?
I'm a guest, may I?
Yeah.
Okay. The fine dividing line between mentoring and coaching is that coaching is for a specific period to help the particular person gain the goals, whilst mentoring is a long time effort, and that's a wonderful experience.
Very well said. So you get the free lifetime membership. Toastmasters, I please note it. So mainly coaching is task oriented short term, whereas mentoring is development oriented long term. A mentor guides you, supports you, inspires you in making best version of yourself. For example, English speaking classes are coaching classes, whereas BKC Fireflies Club is a mentorship club. So that's the difference. So mainly there are three types of mentoring. One is default mentoring, which is by our parents. The second one is forced mentorship we get from our teachers and our bosses and managers. The third one is choice mentorship. It is by our choice from our friends and colleagues. So I was quite lucky in my life to have all the mentors which made my life more successful and happy. The person who changed my life and the way of thinking is none other than my father, my hero. He supported me in all phases of my life. My father wanted me to be a doctor, but I wanted to become an engineer. He supported my decisions in all ways. He helped me to find best tuition classes for my studies. Even in the interviews, for coaching interviews, he gave me reference of relatives who were successful in their lives. So I was able to clear the examinations as well as I got the job in a very successful company by clearing the campus interviews. So I'm very, very grateful to my father. And because of that, I'm earning quite a handsome salary in 8 digits. Although I am also quite handsome, that's fine. But I am quite settled and successful as of now. My father always tells me that you should give back to the society. So I was not serious that why should we give back to the society? But once I started giving back, I realized its importance. Now what I do on the birthday of my daughter, I do donations. Also, I have joined the Dharma Bharati Mission Club, wherein I impart free education to the needy students free of cost. This I did for 1.5 years during the COVID times. Also, my father criticizes me for something which is not good. So constructive criticism is also a part of mentorship. He criticizes me for not being so social. But once I started becoming social, I realized its importance. I was able to get more contacts, more friends, more knowledge, more income. I was able to invest in some property because of contacts. So because of that, I'm very, very grateful to my father. The other two mentors which helped me in my development are from our club. The first one is Toastmaster Sandhya. Sandhya really appreciated me for my creativity, which boosted my confidence to sky high. She used to brush up my speeches, giving finishing touches to my speeches. The 3 golden words which is said regarding evaluation is commend, recommend, commend, which really helped me in evaluating the speeches. And because of this, now I'm able to deliver farewell speeches in my company. So that is a great achievement for me after joining the Toastmaster Club. All credit goes to Toastmaster Sandhya. The other person, I will give some hint and let us see if you are able to find that person or not. That person is a president. He is a member of the club. He looks dashing in his bald, lady killer looks. He is associated with softwares. Anyone can guess who is that person?
Is it Sai?
I am extremely sorry to say, but he is Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. Jeff Bezos is the president and CEO of Amazon. He is a member of Rich People Club. He is a computer engineer. He also looks dashing like our Toastmaster Sai. Jokes apart, I was just joking. So he is none other than our beloved president, Toastmaster Sai, who inspired me in my Toastmaster journey for being very shy and now delivering speeches in my company. So I've received many awards in the Toastmaster Club. So all credit goes to Toastmaster Sai as well as Toastmaster Sandhya. So previously when people used to ask me, who are you? I used to say I am nothing. But now I am proudly able to say with a 56-inch chest that I am something. I am Mahesh Likhya. I am Vice President of the Nayar Energy Company. So that was my life journey from nothing to something. With that, I conclude my speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhuvi.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh. That was a beautiful speech. I especially enjoyed your jokes. That was a sharp joke that you delivered. Really enjoyed your speech. So thank you for that. And of course, the entire meeting has had a very mentoring, coaching, and self-improvement kind of flavor. And I have taken notes from all the speeches, and we'll definitely be implementing some of the recommendations that have been made. Trying to get along a mentor also, that's a hard one. A coach you can employ. A mentor is often a very two-way symbiotic kind of a relationship where the mentee also adds some value to the mentor, and hence yeah, it's harder to find. True mentor is harder to find. So without further ado, because we're also running a little late, I will shift to the second section of the meeting, which is on impromptu speaking, which is called as the table topics. So this, as I mentioned, is an impromptu speaking round where guests to the meeting are also invited to speak. It's a great way to test waters for speaking and gaining confidence before one gives an actual full speech. The table topics master for meeting number 140 is going to be Toastmaster Aditya Balya. So without further ado, over to you, table topics master, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Bhuvi. I welcome you all to my favorite, the very exciting, the very enthralling segment of a Toastmasters meeting, and that is the table topic segment. As you know, monsoons are always surprising. They add an element of twist in our lives because we find monsoons in the least of the times when we expect it. Similarly, today's table topic segment is also going to be of a surprise, nothing less than a surprise. So we are going to occlude the conventional table topics format, and we are going to delve into a very challenging and a very unique format that I'd like to call round robins. How many of you know what round robins is? A raise of hands. So don't worry, I'll be explaining the rules. So for this format, I don't need one but 4 volunteers. The Zoom master needs to spotlight 4 volunteers on stage, and I will be assigning numbers to these 4 volunteers.
Aditya,
Speaker
just
number
pick
1.
people. All of us Toastmasters just pick people. Don't wait for volunteers. We don't have time.
All right, all right. So there will be 4 speakers, and every speaker will get 30 seconds to speak. And there will be 2 rounds happening. So let me tell you, let's have the 4 speakers ready. Toastmaster Sai, Toastmaster Sandhya. Let's have the Toastmasters first, and then we'll go to the guests. Shall we have Toastmaster Kashif and Toastmaster Niyamat? Please spotlight these 4 speakers. Toastmaster Sai.
And Kashif. Give me 1 second. Let me look for Kashif.
Yes.
I don't. Oh, there he is. All right.
Yes.
All right, all right. So speaker number 1 is Toastmaster Sai. Speaker number 2 is Toastmaster Sandhya. Speaker number 3 is Toastmaster Niyamat, and speaker number 4 is Toastmaster Kashif. So this is the order we'll be following. Yeah, Toastmaster Sai.
How do I time the speeches?
You need not time. We are occluding you from the time because I will be typing, so that we let you go of the responsibilities. Okay, so there will be a topic thrown to Toastmaster Sai first because he is speaker number 1. Toastmaster Sai will speak on this topic for 30 seconds. No more, no less. So the last word of Toastmaster Sai's speech becomes a topic for Toastmaster Sandhya, which is speaker number 2. Toastmaster Sandhya speaks on this topic for 30 seconds, no more, no less. And the last word becomes a topic for Toastmaster Niyamat. So we go the similar way 2 times. There will be 2 rounds. So cumulatively, each speaker will be speaking for 60 seconds. Got it? All right. So as I said, Toastmaster Sai, you need not type because I'm doing it. All right. Toastmaster Sai, Monsoon, Toastmaster Sai. Over to you.
The word monsoon to me brings to mind the movie Monsoon Wedding by Meera Nair. It was a great movie, and I enjoyed it when I saw it for the first time. I saw curse words being used on the screen for the first time in the movie Monsoon Wedding. I never heard the M word and the B word shown on the big screen, and Monsoon Wedding was the first movie for that. I think that was an eye-opening thing for me, that stories could be told at such a level where the real vocabulary and vernacular of the people of the street was shown on the big screen, and you didn't have to use big flowery language to get your point.
Language. Toastmaster Sandhya. Toastmaster Sandhya, language.
Language. Well, what can we do without language? Language is the medium that all of us communicate. And we live in a country of languages. I think one of the statistics say that the language in India changes every 5 kilometers, but it also includes the dialect, of course, the dialect changes of the language. So that shows the diversity of our country. Our country is divided based on languages. Each state speaks a different language, although there are multiple dialects within each state.
Stop. Toastmaster Niyamat, dialect. Toastmaster Niyamat.
Dialect. I wonder where that word even came from. I was stumped when I first heard of it. And even now, as I keep talking about it, I wonder. I poke through all the crevices of my brain and try to come up with a rational explanation of why somebody would talk about dialect. But then again, we're in India. And when you go to India and you poke through any corner of India, you come up with a different dialect. People speak all kinds of languages. But beyond those languages lie the dialects. And in those dialects lies some hidden emotion, lies some hidden feeling, lies some deeper understanding.
Toastmaster Kashif, feelings, Toastmaster Kashif.
Like I was already, I think, talking about feelings, and feelings is something I think a lot of us don't give enough importance to. As children, feelings are important for us and we show our feelings. I look at my daughter and I see that she's not afraid to show her feelings. When she's happy, you will notice that she's happy. When she's sad, you will notice that she is sad. But as we start growing up, I think we also somewhere start to kind of minimize the importance of feelings. And especially, we don't want to show those feelings. And that is very important. I think.
Stop. Toastmaster Sai, important. Toastmaster Sai.
Continuing for the stream of thought I was having before, it is important to reflect that our movies, our art, our paintings, our sculptures reflect the reality of the life we live today or the life we want to live in the future, and not just show a facsimile or an ersatz definite description of a fake or just a crust or a small little sliver of society or life as it is lived in our country today. And I think it's important to recognize that everybody's story is important. Everybody's mistakes and the way they carry themselves.
Toastmaster Sandhya, mistake, Toastmaster Sandhya.
Well, all of us feel so guilty about making a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake while speaking. Oh, I made a mistake while writing. I made a mistake at work. But should we take these mistakes so seriously? No, because it's only when we make a mistake that we learn. Mistake is actually the first step towards learning. If you don't make a mistake, you're not going to learn. So the next time you make a mistake.
Toastmaster Niyamat, learn, Toastmaster Niyamat.
It is writing says that every time that you wish to learn something, you come with an empty cup. And what do one really mean by that? If your cup is full of your thoughts and ideas, full of perspectives and opinions, are you truly ever going to learn something? As a teacher, as a facilitator, as a communicator in a Toastmaster, aren't we constantly trying to learn? Aren't we constantly trying to be a little better? Learning basically is the best form of living. We learn from everything. We learn from the man who serves us tea in the morning, or we learn from the person who is driving us to work. We learn from the commute that we take.
Toastmaster Kashif, work, Toastmaster Kashif. You're on mute, Toastmaster Kashif.
Sorry about that. Work, like I was saying, that work is a word which, when we think of work, we think of boring. And that is what work is for most of the people, including me. Because we have clearly, neatly separated the work life from our personal life. And I think that what we really need and what we should really aspire to is work which is also fulfilling, which provides some sort of meaning to our life, which makes us happy. Unfortunately, that is not where we are. That is not where I am. And I would like to move in that particular direction. Work
and scene. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kashif. We are done now. We have completed 2 rounds with 4 volunteers. Let's have the next set of volunteers, the next set of speakers. 4 speakers, 4 minutes. That's it. We wind up. So who's ready now? Let's have Toastmaster Kalpana. Let's have Toastmaster Bhuvi. Anybody who would like to switch on the video and volunteer? Toastmaster Mahesh, let's have you as well. So 4th, we need 4th. I need the 4th person. Toastmaster Vaishali. All right. So yes, let me allocate the numbers to you. Toastmaster Bhuvi is speaker number 1. Toastmaster Kalpana is speaker number 2. Toastmaster Mahesh is speaker number 3. And Toastmaster Vaishali is speaker number 4. Yes? Have you understood the rules well enough, or do you want me to repeat again? No. All right. So let me throw the topic to Toastmaster Bhuvi, speaker number 1 first. Toastmaster Bhuvi, paper boat, Toastmaster Bhuvi.
Paper boat. It is in the time of monsoon when I was a little child. I always remembered the one excuse for me to go out in the rain and play in the puddles was that I wanted to take my crafted paper boat and play it along in the puddles. I, along with my sister, used to actually have a paper boat competition wherein we would go outside and in the biggest puddle have place both of our paper boats, and we were allowed to blow on the paper boats and nudge the paper boats without touching them to
Stop.
see who won.
Touching. Toastmaster Kalpana, touching.
It was so touching whenever I heard about paper boats. You have no idea what else was touching when I thought about it. When it comes down to monsoon, I think everything is touching. Whether it's the lightning, whether it's the thunder, whether it is the pakoras, the hot ones. I am going to use this as an idiom. You have to touch it and touchingly and lovingly gobble it up and enjoy the taste of it with mint chutney, of course. And don't ask me to translate what chutney is. I'm sure you all know it's known as the dip. And yes, it is so touching when my husband opens the umbrella.
Stop.
In
Toastmaster Mahesh, husband, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Thank you very much for giving such an interesting topic. I am an ideal husband as well as idle husband. So my wife always complains that I am a very idle husband, whereas my children says that you are an ideal husband. So there's so much contradictions within the same two-bedroom house. So most of the sacrifices people feel that mothers are giving, wives are giving. Husbands do not get the due credit with the sacrifice.
Toastmaster Vaishali, credit, Toastmaster Vaishali.
I think credit is something we all need in our life. Actually, when we are at the work front, we always need credit for the good work that we are actually showcasing over there. At the same time, at every walk of our life, I think we all need that credit so that we get boosted and encouraged to do better with all the credits that we are accumulating in our life. So very important is the credit part. That's it.
Stop. Toastmaster Bhuvi, part, Toastmaster Bhuvi. You're on mute, Toastmaster Bhuvi.
Yeah, so is it part? So basically, Toastmaster Vaishali was talking about credit and getting credit. But you know, whenever I think of credit in part, I always think of a credit card because that is what I swipe. And even if anybody else does not give me credit in part, I take it fully by swiping my credit card and taking all the credit and feeling very, very good about myself. And believe me, using a credit card well is an art. How many of my fellow Toastmasters?
Stop. Toastmaster Kalpana. Toastmaster Kalpana.
Toastmasters, come on, guys. I need a toast right now. Whenever I hear about toast, I think a toast is something that is really going to help me, especially because I can butter that toast and enjoy it bit by bit without though anybody counting my hours and arms and crunches and munches. So you can imagine what it must be like when you are going to be a toastmaster who is toasting bread and not toasting speeches and not churning out or buttering up as evaluator because we have the CRC method. But hey, what? Believe me, the Amul butter works the best when it comes
Toastmaster Mahesh. Butter, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Thank you for such an interesting topic, butter. So butter has two meanings. One is related to food, and second is related to buttering people, buttering Toastmasters, buttering presidents. So butter is said that is not good for health. It is in a correct proportion only, it's good. After certain extent, it is harmful to health. So it is rightly said.
Toastmaster Vaishali, health, Toastmaster Vaishali.
Health is wealth. Very important for all of us in our life is to take care of good health. Without a sound mental health, emotional health, we cannot actually carry out our day-to-day activities. Health plays a very prominent and important role in all our lives. So very important is to take care of it and give the best. Unless we are mentally sound, physically sound, I think we cannot add into the value of our nation as well. So human is equal to health. The mental health and the physical health is very important. An apple a day keeps the doctor away where the health lies, which is very important to pack it up and take it with us.
And scene. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vaishali. Toastmaster side, do we have some more time or should we just close it?
We may have time, but we don't have volunteers. I think we're running late on time. So I think this is should probably be the end of it.
All right. Thank you very much. I had a ball of a time. Let's catch up again on another table topic segment. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhuvi, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was a beautiful table topics round. Would you like to tell us the name again? It was round. What was it called again?
Round Robins.
Round Robins. Very interesting, very memorable. I think because you were passing around the baton to different speakers, there was a little bit of a storytelling, which doesn't usually happen. There was connection between the different speakers. So very, very enjoyable. I thoroughly liked it. And I think if I'm reading the comments, everybody in the audience also really enjoyed it. It has also come to my notice that we have in our presence a distinguished Toastmaster Lancy D'Souza, who is attending meeting number 140 of BKC Fireflies. May I request all my Toastmaster attendees to switch on their cameras and give a thumbs up to welcome Toastmaster Lancy, distinguished Toastmaster Lancy, to the meeting. Those unable to give thumbs up in person can give them virtually.
I don't think he's in the meeting
I think he's
anymore.
dropped out of the meeting, but that's okay. We can move on to the evaluations.
Okay, he's dropped out of the meeting. Okay. No worries. Okay, all right. So over to my next segment. We are running late, so I'm going to keep it short. So the etymology of the word monsoon is from an Arabic word called mausim. Mausim in Arabic, not in Hindi. In Arabic, it means season, and it refers to a recurring rainy period in a year. And if you actually notice, monsoon as a phenomenon, as a season, it doesn't occur in countries all over the world. It occurs particularly, it's a phenomenon which is particular to countries which are close to the Indian Ocean. So it is only in our part of the world that we get the monsoon. Now, one thing about seasons which is very fascinating to me is that unlike the Western world, we don't have prominent seasons like autumn and spring, right? It is actually, if you look at the way the year is structured, the equinoxes and the solstices are the official demarcations of one season going into another. And interestingly, the summer solstice is on 21st of June. And the summer solstice actually marks the movement from the spring season into the summer season. However, because we are in such a different part of the world where seasons are so different, if I tell anybody that actually the 50 degrees Celsius that is being experienced in the north of India and, the 42 degrees in Bombay is actually spring, it doesn't make any sense, right? So in India, seasons are very different. We don't even have strong springs and strong autumns. They come as short fortnights before we move into winter and summer and then into a monsoon season. So after this little bit of trivia, I would like to hand over the dais to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Kalpana, who is going to evaluate the meetings and also include the individual evaluators to evaluate the prepared speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. And keeping in mind the time crunch that we're having, let's move on to the very first evaluator. That is, I think she had mentioned in the chat that she would like to go last. So I'm moving on to evaluator 2, Toastmaster Sandhya. Toastmaster Sandhya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A very
can you
good
give me 1
evening,
second?
fellow Toastmasters and guests. Sorry, Toastmaster side.
I want to highlight Kashif as well if he's there, since he's your target speaker. Oh, go ahead. We don't have time. Please go ahead.
Thank you, General Evaluator again, and a good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Kashif. The project or the purpose of any Toastmaster speech is the first is to fulfill the objectives of the speech. And I must say you excelled in filling those objectives of your speech. The objectives of your speech were to give a speech which is well structured and to apply feedback that you got from the last project that you attempted. Now, in the last project that you attempted, the feedback that you got were that you got a suggestion to change the title of your speech so that it does not, it occludes a little bit of what the speech is about. It asked you to use your hand gestures better, and it asked you to use a few personal examples. And I must say that I'm very glad to note that you fulfilled most of these objectives very well. Other than these, I loved that you stood up and gave a speech in an online meeting. It's very rare that we find that, but I'm very happy that you did that. I also liked the way that you structured your speech. You started with the how, why, and what of journaling, and you emphasized on it. You told us right at the beginning what the speech is going to be about, and then you also emphasized them as you went through the speech. Now, to make this speech a little better, I have the following recommendations for you. Now, this is one of the recommendations that you already got in your last project, that is to use personal stories. Now, you did mention personally how journaling has impacted your life, but I would say make that story more detailed, make it more personal. How exactly did Kashif benefit from journaling? What were the negative thoughts that you actually had which helped you come out of them by the use of journaling so that it's relatable to all of us? The general audience does not relate very well to, celebrities and famous people. Of course, they are important as examples. They are ideals. But we will relate more if we know that, okay, Kashif, one amongst us, actually benefited from journaling. So let us also do that. So give us those personal stories. The second recommendation would be to end with an impactful conclusion. So for example, you could have told us that, we live life only once. Let's live it king size and let's record that king size life by journaling. So that leaves an impact on the audience. So Toastmaster Kashif, to summarize, you fulfilled all the objectives of your speech. So well done, very well done there. You gave a very well structured speech. My recommendations would be to use personal stories a little more in your speech. End your speech with an impactful conclusion, and to challenge yourself, I would recommend that try using more voice modulations while you're speaking. Try doing that in your next project. And on that note, I will give the platform to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Evaluator Sandhya and Evaluator 1. Toastmaster Nidhi is in the room. May I call upon Toastmaster Nidhi to evaluate the speech of a speaker? Thank you.
I think I'm. Can you
Dr.
guys?
Saurabh is right here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, good to go. Thank you, General Evaluator. So, Toastmasters Saurabh, your speech today focused on the important aspect of vocal varieties, and you choose to narrate a story to illustrate your points. This is a great method to, actually engaging with the audience and demonstrating your vocal abilities. I would like to first talk about the strength, which I'm quite impressed with. First was the engagement. You began your story with, engaging hook, capturing all your attentions right from the start. Your opening set was at the, set the scene well, and you were good enough to about enthusiasm. Second was the vocal variety. You demonstrated the two characters, Daniel and Emma, and you used in the changes in pitches to distinguish different characters of your story. This made me easy to follow who was representing and was speaking, and adding you can say the clarity or the depth in your narrative. You use the volumes which were commendable. You use suspenses and pauses. This helps us to convey the emotions of the story. Third was the pacing. Your paces were well controlled. You varied your speed appropriately, like slowing down at the moments, then building the suspenses, and speeding up again during the action packed scenes, like at the end of the conclusions. This kept as an audience or me on the edge of the seats to know what's happening the next. But now again, there are few areas of improvement. First, I would recommend you to, articulate your story more. Since you just got 5 to 7 minutes, I think you should add more the content in your story rather than speeding up or the pacing up, like concluding it at the end. Make sure that you highlight all the important aspects of your story well to avoid any potential misunderstandings. Secondly, you need to be very consistently enough between while you're transitioning to the vocal transition. Make sure that you manage that vocal traits through the character. Since I think you don't have the space or you have some logistics and operation issues, I think you need to, while demonstrating vocal varieties, you can use your hand gestures or the body platform where you can give space evidently to know audience who is Daniel and who is Emma if the person is not able to, connect. Third would be the emotional connection, though it was very beautifully described. The story was very emotional, but I think the characters could go to the more further depth to, highlight how this has changed her life in general. You mentioned that this she finally end up being the most, the successful vocal layouts, and she learned how to do that. But I think you need to have the more depth in your conclusions. And I think sort of by concluding all that, I would say that you just need to engage and maintain the audience with the fine refinements, as I said, the articulation and consistencies with the emotional connections. And I'm sure that you're gonna captivate your listeners even more with your dynamic performance. I think good to go, Saurabh. I'm looking forward for your speech. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for that evaluation. And evaluator third is Kalpana. So it is over to me. And my speaker, yes, are you there? Just a second. All right, so here I go with my evaluation, Toastmaster Mahesh. Toastmaster Mahesh, a bang on beginning with attention grabbing quote. I like that quote and it went straight to the heart. I like the fact that you told us to ask someone who was there, and I was looking at people who were successful because there was mentoring and coaching done for them. Not coaching. I remember very well you told us the differences between coaching and mentoring. 3 cheers to you. It brought us to the fact that mentoring is different from coaching, that it's hand holding throughout the life. It is like a confidence bag turned inside out. You had great humor. You also had some great googlies, when you spoke about the Amazon CEO, but we all still, believe me, I still couldn't get rid of the image of Sai. So I think, but still, kudos to you for taking us for a ride so nicely and so quickly. I liked your constructive CRC method that you mentioned, that the mentors utilize to bring out the best in you. And also the fact that not only did you give a personal example of your own father as your mentor, but also mentioned two mentors from within Toastmasters. Let me tell you something that I would like you to improve. Your body language was limited because you decided to stand in one place and read out. I could see that you were reading. You weren't very confident if you were away from the screen itself. Try and see that you have your points in your mind and you can deliver the speech without any hitches, because sometimes the ahs and ums and just the two words that you were speaking seemed as if the speeches were having hums, and it used to hump down and stop. And then you used to go to the next segment, killing the joy of the speech, which had plenty of humor in it. Mentoring is an inner chain. So some incident with supporting consequences, if you hadn't listened to your mentor, for example, your father, would have been a tremendous takeaway. Your daughter, how would you now like to mentor, could have been an ending which would have rounded up the speech from you becoming from a mentee, coming down to mentor. So now let me just tell you, my man, as my conclusion. You met the criteria of what a mentor is. You took, but you can take it to a higher level. Don't dabble it low. Make it strong. It is like taking a 250 mg 2 tablets. To make your speech dynamic, give us a 500 mg tablet. Be a very good writer. Ask someone who has good English to give you a good flow to your speech to make it the most wonderful speech. Over to the general evaluator. Thank you. And now, before I move on to taking the reports, I will start with timer. Toastmaster sign. Toastmaster sign, I would like the reports of all the three speakers, please. And I would like the SAR to note it down if you're reading the certificates later on. Yes, Toastmaster sign.
I have a little bit of bad news because for our prepared speeches, only one speaker technically finished on time, that is Toastmaster Saurabh. The second speaker, Kashif, so Saurabh took 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Kashif spoke for 8 minutes, 30 seconds. So his journal overflowed this time.
Okay.
And Speaker Mahesh finished in 7 minutes, 37 seconds. So I'm going to defer to your judgment. Do you want to put him in the voting? No. Okay.
No, I don't think so, because in that case, we have a clear winner over here. Moving on to table topic round. I know it was a different round. It was a very interesting round, but there was a time criteria set. In that case, should I be asking you about the timings?
We'll just assume that everybody did speak for the allotted amount of time, because I don't think anybody did not speak at all. So we'll assume that everybody spoke for the allotted amount of time. Coming to the evaluations, Toastmaster Sandhya spoke for 3 minutes, 16 seconds. Nidhi spoke for 3 minutes, 25 seconds. And Kalpana, you spoke for 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Thank you so much. So evaluations we have got. After the timers report, I'm moving on to the R counters report. May I ask Toastmaster? I don't see her. Is she here?
I think
All
everyone
right.
is seen. I'm
Yes.
visible and audible.
Yes, you are. You are now. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. So I will start with the TMoD and speakers who are in the prepared speakers as well as impromptu speaker. So we'll start with Bhuvi. So Bhuvi started on monsoon topic very well. Bhuvi, I mean, monsoon is coming, so we are waiting for monsoon. So you started. When I see the fillers, the R sound, R filler was like you used for 30 times, whereas was 35, and for 4 times. For Sai, it was 3 times when detecting this timing information. Niyamnat, R sound, R filler for 2 times. Now we'll come with the prepared speakers. Saurabh used R filler for 3 times and for 2 times. Tasif sound or filler for 4 times. Mahesh for 2 times sound. Then evaluator, at the time of evaluation, Sandhya used sound, filler for 5 times and for 3 times. Nidhi, while evaluating, she used sound for 3 times and filler for 7 times. And Kalpana, filler only for once. And when to give the introduction for the impromptu speaker, Aditya was completely flawless and made this speech or made this entire session very interesting and fantastic through his rapid robins game. In this impromptu speaker, Sai just he filler for twice. Sandhya twice used well word. Niyamat filler only once. Kasif used and like he repeated this and filler. Bhuvi used filler for thrice. Kalpana was completely flawless in evaluation and also in the impromptu speaking. Mahesh only once he used filler, and Vaishali 5 times filler. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the detailed report. And now we move on to a shower of Monsoon, and that is our grammarian. All right, I'm still looking for her. I just saw her.
I'm here.
Niyamat, there you are. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Yes. Well, a shower, I'm not exactly sure of. I will say this, that this entire meeting has been one hurricane. I loved it. We had such wonderful expressions, and that is the reason I was not able to keep a track of everything, although I'm supposed to be the good listener and jot down everything. But when Toastmaster Aditya started his round robin, I was lost. So very quickly, the few things that I've jotted down. I appreciate all those who have not occluded and used the word occluded in their sentences, in their expressions. Thank you. Let's begin with the presiding officer. He is a literary genius. I love when he's talking because you have to really patiently fish out and only notice the words that, how do I put it? It's like a waterfall. He's gushing with his words and you have to quickly, jot down whatever you can in the time that you have. So I tried things like stars align for her, impact on the senses, hits a certain amount of grace time to keep track of time. I like when speakers like to use English or use vocabulary in an inclusive manner. And what I mean by this is, instead of asking what is on the agenda, we ask, how are we doing on the agenda? What we do is we include us in the picture. So we make an inanimate thing animated. Let's see, how do we go about this? There is nobody else with me, but I'm making it sound like I'm thinking and my head is making decisions. So when we use a sentence like, so how do we do this? Or how do we work with this? I'm actually communicating in a better way because I'm making more conversation. I hope it makes sense. Then I like the idea of Monsoon being the true finance minister. Couple of things that I would like to mention here is pronunciation. One place it was said anomaly, it is anomaly, and demonstrate, and it should be demonstrate. Okay, so you press it in the beginning, demonstrate. Apart from that, I'll also appreciate Toastmaster Aditya, fantastic, very well conducted. What I loved about it was its simplicity. There were no heavy words, there were no adjectives, adverbs, idioms, nothing of that sort. Simple words, monsoon, importance, language. So it's like, it doesn't always have to be a very rich vocabulary, but at the same time, knowing what to speak when. I think that is where the beauty of speaking well lies in. Toastmaster Kalpana, all the crunches and the munches and the buttering, it was a lot of fun. So thank you. You have a wonderful way of presenting the way you discuss the all words. With this, I see that I have really overshot the time. So back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grammarian. And now let me very quickly summarize my report. There we go. The SAR started the meeting on time. So 3 cheers to SAR for ensuring that the clock was respected. But I just would like you to have more energy since you are the one who opens a meeting. Let me come down to the presiding officer sign. You were great. You are always someone who welcomes everyone warmly. Your eloquence as a presiding officer showed when you spoke about the eloquence itself. I like the social skills when you were speaking about public speaking, because that really adds to the learning or the takeaway of a Toastmaster. You filled up the gaps when you realized that there were technical snitches, and that is something that MOC or a TMoD does it with a smoothness that is totally required. And yes, at the end, you even did summary of eloquence and you even addressed the guest. 3 cheers to you, presiding officer, for that warm welcome and making us feel a part of your meeting again and again. I'm coming down to Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster of the Day, monsoons. Yes, it is a wonderful topic, especially since we are all waiting for monsoons. But very quickly, I'm just going to tell you what you need to do as a Toastmaster of the Day. It is in the hands of the Toastmaster of the Day to completely take care of the full meeting. When the time alerts are being given in the chat, respect it. Cut down on what you have to say. Ensure that you're crisp, you're to the point, and you move on, because you are just a facilitator who facilitates every role player, every attendees, and every guests that are there. So it is in your hand whether a meeting is going to be successful, liked, admired, and applauded by all. I really want you to keep this in mind. Second point I would like to tell you is try and interact. It is a job of the Toastmaster of the Day to get inputs from its audience. You had said it in the group. What are your opinions on monsoons? I'm sure people would have shared it. As you introduced your tag team, you should have said what timer feels, what our counter feels, what the grammarian feels, and ask them about their best moments in monsoons. Whenever you choose a theme or a topic, don't make it into a sermon. We are not at a college and we do not want the statistics. What happens over here is, though it was a vital, I should say, a subject or a theme that had full of vitality, it was full of promise, it was full of thunder and lightning and coziness. But it somehow or the other was lost because you were on a different track. But yes, you speak well, you are nice. If you will just take these pointers as a Toastmaster of the Day, give equal importance to anyone, everyone that is there in this meeting, and facilitate the meeting, you're good to go. Table topic master, what do I say about you? You actually brought us all out of our stupor. You were innovative, interesting, and invigorating. I don't think I'll be needing my, multivitamin tablet today, because you gave me some energy through your screen. All right. And yes, what an innovative way. I think you ensured everyone participated. You brought everyone out of their comfort zone and you rocked. Let me come down to my tag team. Timer Sai was flawless as usual. Where our counter is concerned, whenever you say the R was said for multiple number of times, it is best to say it was said more than 5 times. But yes, please ready the R counter script that is there and share it on the chat. When you share it on the chat, it just does wonder. People have their private feedback, but you were very, very observant. You were a good listener, as you did not miss out on any R's or R's. So 3 cheers to you and kudos to that. Yes, grammarian, fantastic. I really liked your opening when you started off comparing it with monsoons, and it's in your face. And I realized, yes, grammar as something that's always in our face. Just a few takeaways for you. Generally, whenever you're giving a grammarian's report, it is the quotes that are told by anybody or everybody, the good words or the words that really makes a difference, that can be taken away as a vocabulary grab or vocabulary kit that everyone has when they join Toastmasters, can be mentioned as a takeaway. Bad English should be mentioned with just what could be done in context, as per the speech, as per the time when it is spoken, to make it a correct sentence, gives a very crisp report and to the point report. It also helps almost everyone, every Toastmaster that is present, to improve. And finally, I come down to the closure. I think I've covered everyone, right? Because I don't think evaluators are to be evaluated by general evaluators, right? So I thank each and every one of you. It was a nice meeting, and I now hand over the stage to none other but our presiding officer. I'm sorry, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. So
no,
but
let me give it to the presiding officer. Let's do that. All right, Toastmaster of the day, because I think we need the certificates and everything. Go ahead, Toastmaster.
Actually, yeah, we need the polls.
Oops. All right. On public demand, I'm back. And let me launch the polls so people have a chance to vote. And I really request maybe another 5 minutes of your time to wind up the meeting with everyone's permission. Please do vote, and hopefully we get a good voting in. While this is happening, let me maybe share the time. If Bhuvi has more to share about her theme, I can maybe share some time, the spotlight with her.
No, actually, I think you go ahead. I'm done. I think it's fine. Thank you.
All right. Cool. What do we have? The voting is going on. So we've had a few people who, everybody is in love with the way Toastmaster Aditya conducted his table topics. We've said enough about that, so I'm not going to bore him and bring him on the spotlight and he can explain his style. Let me ask if Vaishali is in a position to talk to us while, has she finished voting first of all? Vaishali? All right, so let me add you in the spotlight while others are voting, and maybe you could tell us what you felt about this style of table topics.
It was really very innovative and very unique methodology to conduct these table topics. I was flabbergasted. I really noted down everything what was being told and said, and each and every one over here. You all are really amazing. It is a great learning platform for me each time when I join your meeting sessions. So thanks for involving me and making me feel one with all of you. So thank you for all of that.
Of course, we are sort of leveraging all the hard work that people like Kalpana and Aditya and people not from BKC Fireflies who do all the hard work, and we're getting the credit for it. But we're always happy to have them, and we're happy to have you. Please do come back and
thank you so much.
Why don't you tell us which club you're part of? Are you part of Agnel?
Goregaon Speakers Community Club.
Right. Well, what time is your meeting?
It's on Sunday actually, 2:45 to 5 o'clock.
In person only? In person, yeah.
Oh.
It's too bad. Otherwise, we would have tried to attend. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Do we have anybody else who was... We had a few people who joined in the middle, but they had to drop off. I think DTM Nancy and a few other people. I saw Priyanka Panigrahi. Do I still see her here? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, so I'm going to end the poll because I think we've had all the results that we can expect. And I'm going to announce the results, and then we're going to close the meeting, and then we can chit-chat. All right. Let's start with the one which was the easiest vote ever because the best primary role player was across the board, only one person. And that person was Toastmaster Aditya Balya for his role as the table topics master. Aditya, you got all the votes possible. You're like a dictator, you know? Vladimir Putin gets 100% of the vote, just like that.
I'm glad you didn't name a political party, but yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmasters.
I know where we live, so I'm not doing that. I'm not going there at all. So that was an easy one. Aditya was nominated, chosen as the best primary role player. Let's move on to our best evaluator. That was a bit of a mixed bag, but finally the room selected Sandhya as the best evaluator for the evening. Hi, Sandhya. Let me add you to the spotlight. Congratulations on the work well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The next thing we want to discuss is the best auxiliary role player, and nobody could occlude Niyamat from winning it all. She was nominated as the best auxiliary role player. Let me ask Niyamat if she did you know the word occlude before you chose it, or do you use it regularly? Like, is it a word you use every day? Oh, what am I doing? Let me spotlight you.
If you actually want to know, there's a type of surgery we do to create stroke in animals, which is called as middle cerebral artery occlusion.
No, what do you do to the animal? You stroke the animal.
Yeah, you have to tie off a particular artery that sends blood to the brain. So there's an occlusion there.
Oh,
but yeah, this is the first time I use it in a non-medical way.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start using all these really geeky software terms, and then I'll be like, yes, please use this word called something. All right, nice.
Yeah, sounds smart, no?
And to be honest, when the word was first shared, I thought maybe it'd be a word that would not be commonly used, but I saw a lot of people trying to use it. So kudos on choosing a word which resonated with the audience. The next person, we've discussed the primary role player, auxiliary role player, then the evaluator. Now comes the big one which had so many participants. That was out of 8 people. So I'm going to give one person a chance. Let's see. I'm going to randomly nominate one person to Pratnya, you didn't get a chance to speak beyond your role. Among the speakers you saw on stage during table topics, which speaker did you think was your choice as the best table topics participant? And you can say my name. I'm okay. I'll take the credit if you say my name. Kalpana. You were close because Kalpana was the first runners-up in terms of the votes received. The person who received the most votes and is the winner for the best table topics.
Mahesh.
Wow, second time lucky. You got it right. Mahesh was chosen as the best table topic speaker for the evening. Congratulations, Mahesh. Were you expecting that, Mahesh? Did you think that you had a good table topics?
It was a 0% chance for me. I'm surprised. I need to send a CBI inquiry for this.
But I have a better idea for you. You said you like to make money. I have a better idea. Every time you think that a stock is going to do really badly, buy that stock. Because clearly you didn't trust yourself, but the room thought you were good. So you should go the opposite trade. Every time you look at a stock and say, man, this thing is useless, then I should buy that. Because clearly your judgment is the opposite of the way the world thinks.
Yeah, agree. Thank you very much.
So your dad is going to be even more happy, and you can share more money in charity. With that, we come to the end of the meeting. Let me quickly close everything. Have I missed anything? Have I missed any of the results that I needed to share? All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining meeting number 140. I'm going to stop the recording now.